Power isn't loud, it's the quiet pulse that steadies a room when chaos hums in the corners. In a world that equates strength with shouting, true influence grows from restraint, mercy, and an unshakable commitment to truth. Today we explore a different model of leadership, one built on calm presence, patient strategy, and the disciplined use of silence as a tool, not a void to fill. Imagine a paradox. The strongest leaders are the ones who speak least, yet who listen most. The aim isn't to win fights with force, but to steer outcomes with discernment. If you've ever felt that your voice is dismissed when you stay composed, this video will show you how restraint and silent authority become your most powerful assets. We'll uncover how calm outward bearing hides a reservoir of experience, how a steady gaze reveals more than a shouted claim, and how mercy can be a strategic instrument that lets truth surface in time. By the end, you'll have a practical 3-step framework you can apply at work, at home, and in your community. Observe, mercy pause, act with truth. If you're tired of the noise and ready for credible, enduring influence, you're in the right place. Calm exterior doesn't mean a shallow life. Behind that collected facade lies battles fought and lessons learned. The eyes, those quick exacting barometers, don't just reflect emotion. They reveal the weight of experiences unsupported by words. A leader who has faced pressure and emerged intact becomes a reliable centre, a gravitational force that others instinctively circle. When you project calm, you don't just appear authoritative. You become a locus of stability others instinctively trust. Calm authority grounds influence, not as a display of dominance, but as a sure, tested presence that holds a room together when winds rise. Strength, when expressed quietly, is a force felt before it's seen. Restraint isn't weakness, it's mastery, a deliberate choice that unsettles those who expect explosive displays. A leader who steps forward without shouting signals that they already hold the ground. That escalation is unnecessary because the outcome is already shaped by quiet confidence. This quiet presence can deter manipulation, deflect needless clashes, and keep teams from spiraling into counterproductive battles. In leadership, the hardest battles are often won not by loudness, but by the confidence to stand firm and wait for the right moment to act. The gaze matters. In tense exchanges, the eyes speak with a sharper honesty than words. A steady, sincere gaze can expose hidden motives and strip away facades without a single accusation. Nonverbal truth amplifies credibility and trust. When your eyes align with your words, you become a conduit of integrity. In a culture overwhelmed by rhetoric, a truthful gaze becomes a compass, quiet, precise, and undeniable. This is the heart of the channel's theme: truthfulness without theatrics, power without noise. Mercy is not softness, it's strategy. Mercy is calculated restraint that tests character over time, giving truth room to surface under pressure. When a rival moves, mercy buys space for consequences to reveal themselves and for honest choices to emerge. This isn't about letting others walk over you, it's about disarming deception by letting truth reveal itself through consistent, principled behaviour. Strategic mercy aligns with disciplined power and a long arc of victory. It's the difference between a leader who crushes every potential conflict and a leader who guides reality toward clarity by choosing when to pause and when to act. Consider a quiet campaign against falsehoods, relentless but unhurried. Dismantling lies is not a carnival of accusations, it's a patient, methodical exposure. The eyes pierce facades, and deception softens under scrutiny. Truth surfaces faster when you don't overreact. A calm, precise response creates a durable erosion of illusion. Think of a timeline that shows how steady, quiet truth wears down falsehoods until they cannot stand up to daylight. A calm face paired with a decisive gaze communicates survival and clarity even in high-stakes moments. That quiet strength gives a psychological edge, inviting observers to conclude that the fight is already decided. The scars and wisdom earned in darkness add to authority. They remind others that a leader's power isn't about being unscarred, but about how those scars translate into credibility and restraint. When you carry this presence, escalation becomes unnecessary. The mere posture of your being raises the threshold for conflict. Mercy's duality is a practical dance. Compassion and decisiveness can coexist. Mercy buys space for truth, but the power to destroy illusions remains if needed. Mastery, then, is balancing mercy with precise action. This is how disciplined leadership emerges, an intentional cadence that pauses, evaluates, and then acts with precision. In real life, you'll see CEOs delaying punishment to allow learning, coaches permitting a foothold for growth before re-establishing standards. The result is stronger teams and clearer standards. Silence isn't passivity, it's strategy. Waiting becomes active dominance when timing reveals truth. A negotiator who holds fire, a manager who lets a misstep expose a bad actor. These are not examples of restraint for its own sake, but of strategic patience that shapes outcomes. Time is a tool that exposes intent and clarifies allegiance. When you choose to wait, you preserve options and let reality certify itself. Truth, finally, redefines victory. Enduring accuracy beats rapid retaliation. Lies unravel on their own when truth is patiently revealed. Quiet strategies create lasting, meaningful outcomes that can be seen in a timeline where deception collapses under persistent, calm scrutiny. A lighthouse stands firm as waves crash and recede. The light never ceases, even as tempests pass. This is the quiet victory of truth, resilient, irreversible, and undeniable. Behind silent power lies a psychology that unsettles deceit. The deceiver experiences cognitive dissonance as the truth lands without ceremony. The eyes deliver a silent verdict that words can never replicate. And nonverbal authenticity builds trust faster than the most elaborate rhetoric. To apply this in your own life, pause and reflect. Where has restraint guided you to a better outcome? What truths did your calm reveal that anger could not? The balance is the art. A practical model emerges. Observe with quiet attention. Mercy, pause to hold back impulse, then act with truth in a precise, purposeful moment. This three-step framework reduces manipulation and strengthens credibility. It also trains you to discipline timing, an essential leadership muscle in any arena. Try a daily 5-minute silent reflection before decisions. Let your observation feed your mercy, and let your truth drive your action. You'll start to notice a different kind of influence, one that lasts, that steadies, and that invites trust rather than fear. So the core message lands clearly. Genuine strength rests in calm, restraint, and silent truth expressed through the eyes. These traits expose superficiality and manipulation for what they are. If you want to lead with lasting impact, in your career, in your relationships, in your community, cultivate disciplined power. Let quiet power become your habit, your posture, and your proof that influence doesn't need noise to be real. Silent strength beats loud aggression every time.